Everyone knows Queen had one genius, Freddie Mercury. But what if I told you there were two? One wrote anthems that filled stadiums, and the other helped NASA see the universe in a whole new dimension. And this guy, he got his musical fire started by building his first guitar out of a fireplace mantle. Yeah, this is the story of Brian May, Queen's quiet genius, the guitarist who made Pluto stand up. Long before he was blasting solos across sold-out arenas, Brian May was building his own guitar by hand. He and his father built the Red Special from a chunk of fireplace mantle, salvaged motorcycle hardware, a knitting needle bent into the shape of a tremolo arm. And that instrument, warm, rich, unmistakably his, would become his signature voice. And when he plugged it in beside Freddie Mercury, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon, the result was Queen. The band that could make an opera sound like a rock and roll coronation. But even at the height of Queen's fame, Brian was chasing something with a frequency wider than applause. The hum of the universe. Before there was Queen, there was Imperial College London. And while most students fought to survive physics, Brian studied the zodiacal dust cloud, sunlight, whispering through a thin haze of cosmic particles. It fascinated him. The quiet rhythm of the universe, measured in photons instead of beats per minute. But then came another kind of light. Stage lights. Fame isn't patient. Equations are. And when your songs set the world on fire, even starlight has to wait. While Mercury lit up stadiums, May studied light. And somewhere in the back of his mind, the unfinished equation waited. Freddie got the crowd to wave lighters. Brian calculated their wavelength. Decades later, after the tours, the noise, the grief, and the endless encores, Brian found himself drawn back to where he'd left off. The spotlight had dimmed to a warm afterglow, but curiosity was still burning white-hot. He reopened his notes, updated the math, and in 2007 became Dr. Brian May, astrophysicist. Soon after, NASA came calling. The New Horizons probe was ripping through space at more than 31,000 miles per hour, racing toward Pluto. May collaborated with the mission team to turn its flat photographs into something our eyes could truly grasp. He revived a Victorian parlor trick called stereoscopy, the art of creating depth from two nearly identical pictures, and used it to make Pluto's surface rise from the screen in three-dimensional relief. A silent world, 3 billion miles from home. The first portraits, icy plains, dark scars, and a pale heart etched across its shadowed face. To most of us, Pluto was just a gray pebble in the dark. May saw depth, mountains, valleys, textures, and he made us see them too. He lined every image, pixel by pixel, until Pluto stood up like a frozen ghost in 3 dimensions. Those stereo models became NASA's first true 3D views of the dwarf planet. And when the data finally came back, he celebrated the only way he knew how, with music. His song, New Horizons, later honored the mission's next target, proving that even science can sound epic when you crank the distortion and let the universe play in surround sound. Freddie Mercury reached for the heavens on stage. Brian May, he mapped them. One conquered gravity with a one-of-a-kind voice, the other with math. Turns out genius doesn't stop at the encore. It keeps exploring. There's even an asteroid quietly looping around the sun right now named 52665 Brian May. Like its namesake, it doesn't chase the spotlight. It just keeps orbiting, steady, brilliant, and utterly its own. So here's an ounce. You don't have to stand in the spotlight to reach the stars. Sometimes the quieter genius is the one who helps us see them. And that's it. An ounce submitted for your consideration. If this story hit the right note, like, share, and keep your curiosity in tune. There's always another encore waiting out there. Until then, keep the volume just a little louder than your fear. See ya. Thanks.